Tonight, from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Davis Mills and the Houston Texans taking on Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. As the Texans offense runs out, we get a peek at the man under center. Second-year quarterback Davis Mills out of Stanford.
I think when we really analyze the 2021 NFL season, Houston Texans quarterback Davis Mills, he deserves a lot more credit than he got for leading a bad team last season. Circumstances led the third-round rookie to being thrown in as the team starter, and he really came on after some early struggles. 4 300-yard games from him, he led Houston to a big upset of the Chargers to help keep L.A. out of the playoffs.
Now the rookie 4th-round pick. This is Dameon Pierce. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. So much for staying ahead of the chains with a 3 or 4-yard gain on first down. They move the chains with a nice little run.
Yeah, they're making the chain gang hustle a little bit to try and keep up, aren't they? Because a lot of the first series of games are scripted, many times to probe and find some holes in the defense. Sometimes you attack with some big-time runs, too.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
They go play action. Mills. Got this into the hands of the tight end, Jordan.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 28. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Mills. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
Now Mills.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury.
And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts got the green light as a starter from the Philly organization and took really good steps as the next in line of mobile quarterbacks in the city, following names like Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, and Randall Cunningham. He led the team in all quarterbacks in the NFL in rushing, and he took Philadelphia to the postseason while throwing for over 3,000 yards.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 11 yards for number 11.
In a draft day stunner, A.J. Brown was shipped from Tennessee to Philadelphia. He'd appeared to be the long-awaited answer for Tennessee at receiver, and now he can be that same long-awaited answer in Philadelphia. 2,000-yard seasons and 24 touchdowns in his first 3 years in the league. He gives Philly the type of wide receiver one the team hasn't had in almost a decade.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he will slide down, but a penalty marker down as well. And it looks like this is going to be all for naught.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Throwing is Hurts. Man open left side is Brown. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down.
Here's Hurts to throw.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46.
Hurts.
This is caught. It's Brown. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
We're scoreless after one.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
They'll look to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That'll give them 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. Back to throw again. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts
Taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Eagles post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice...
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Pierce takes it straight ahead. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Both players with a shot at it that time, but neither coming away with it.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly. You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Back to throw. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get 1 play before the 2-minute warning. It's a second down run with Sanders. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Watkins. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 41-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On first down, Hurts. This will be caught by Brown. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Second and 11 now. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, third and long. They'll drop to throw. Got a man, it's Brown. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a one-touchdown game. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. Have a great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal. They'll certainly have the green light here.
And now two problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. Two drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10. Working out of the gun, Mills. That's complete. It's Collins. Now the Texans will use one of their two remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. First down, Mills. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Yeah, this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw, Mills. That's underneath to Pierce. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this will stay at a 7-point game. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports halftime report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it, turn upfield, and pick up the first down.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Hurts. It's caught by Sanders. Short completion, just 4 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he's got room. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
On 1st and 10, Mills. And he finds Howard complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Working with a 2nd and 3. On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a 1st down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
And the Texans are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Here's Mills. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, and he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Elliott on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Houston's offense taking over again. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at their own 27. From the shotgun, it's Mills. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing the football.
So now a fresh set of downs. First and 10 after roughing the passer. Handoff right side to Pierce. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Mills now. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
57, Mike, 57.
Mills. Open man there is Collins, complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mills to throw it. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Here we go. Check the Eagle.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Hasn't had his best game running the football here tonight, but, hey, that's a critical spot right there to convert on 3rd down, and he did it.
And the lights are shining just a little bit brighter right now, aren't they? You remember the beginning of the game? If he gets this first down, everybody's happy. That's cool. But here, that was critical, and it really energizes them.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Christian Kirksey. The O-line can't stop him, and he gets the sack.
There's a reason inside linebackers are often captains of a defense. They call the signals. They have the opportunity to affect the game in coverage, against the run, and, of course, on blitzes. Living in the best of both worlds here. Already has an interception. Now he gets to record a sack, too.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Another try after the first down sack.
Hurts. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And Sanders has got it complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
This to make it a 3-score game late.
The kick by Elliott is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. Looking to throw is Mills. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Cooks on the quick slant. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Throwing again on second down. Mills. That's caught. It's Chris Moore. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mills to the air again. They dial up the screen here to Burkhead. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To throw again on second down. Mills. That's complete to his running back, Burkhead. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Mills now looks to throw on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Throwing, Mills. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Mills again. Touchdown, Texans. Brandon Cooks on the touchdown toss from Davis Mills. And the Texans are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. In the victory formation as they take a knee. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Hurts down to 1 knee, and that should just about do it. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Houston, good night, everybody.